about him, and I love Kenny Atkinson as a head coach. He gets the most out of his players every single game. They play like dogs. And they're in Brooklyn. They absolutely are ferocious. Kyrie Irving coming in free agency. They got Spencer Dinwiddie coming off the bench, who is in contention every single year for Sixth Man of the Year. They bring in DeAndre Jordan. They have Jarrett Allen, who is a really high upside big, still very young, growing into his own body, backing him up at center. At power forward, you have Wilson Chandler and then Rodion Skaruch, who has a decent amount of experience playing in the NBA. He's only 20 years old, so he's still going to develop and grow. And then Taurean Prince, and on the bench, my boy, Joe Harris. Oh, my gosh. I mean, I love this team right now. Caris LeVert, who just got a big contract, and then they bring in Garrett Temple. He's a tried and true veteran at the shooting guard position. I love the depth of this team. They go 10 deep.
Yeah, this team's going to be really good. And when you add a star player like Kyrie, that's really going to help out. Obviously, Kevin Durant, he's injured. He won't be there at all next year, so don't even talk about him. But you got Jarrett Allen coming off of that bench, who was a starter. You got DeAndre Jordan, who I like as a signing. It really didn't make much sense signing him because you got a Jarrett Allen, but nevertheless, he's still a pretty solid player. Really has been working on those free throws. He can rebound the basketball. You mentioned Caris LeVert, but I really think this Taurean Prince kid is going to be a big-time player for the Brooklyn Nets. They're a deep squad, and we got them at 3, man. It's going to be great to see them in action next year.
At number 2, we have the Milwaukee Bucks in the Eastern Conference. Basically the same team, but they lose Malcolm Brogdon, which is kind of a huge loss for them. They still have one of the best players in the league in Giannis Antetokounmpo. That's hands down. But what we noticed whenever we were doing these rankings, why we have them taking a step back, is that they're another team that likes to get things going in transition, and yet their whole roster is filled out with 30-plus-year-olds. Eric Bledsoe, he's getting there at 28. He has an injury history. George Hill, 32, is your backup point guard. Kyle Korver is 37. You really think his old cricket legs are getting up and down the court? I don't think so. The dude's going to have to pop 4 ibuprofens every half. Chris Middleton is a solid player, don't get me wrong, but he got a fat payday. You got the Lopez brothers, both old. Brooke Lopez expanding his game. Ersan Ilyasova is forever old. And Wes Matthews, who I am not a big fan of whatsoever. Captain inefficiency at your starting 2 guard there. I think this team takes a step back.
Yeah, I agree. And Giannis Antetokounmpo, he's a great player, and he's going to pretty much carry that team all season long. And you got Chris Middleton, who I've always said is a great Robin to Giannis Antetokounmpo. Brooke Lopez really stepped up his game last year, hitting the 3-ball, stretching the floor. It was great to see Brooke Lopez take that step. Last year, Wes Matthews, I know you're not a big fan of him. He just kind of is out there. He'll shoot a 3 once in a while, but he sucks. Yeah,
he sucks.
Yeah, so it's just this team they're going to take a step back, but they're going to be a really solid team.
Number 1, finally we get to the Philadelphia 76ers, a team that was just at the bottom of the league year in and year out a few years ago, and now they've got one heck of a starting 5 here with Ben Simmons, Tobias Harris, Joel Embiid, Josh Richardson, and Al Horford. I mean, oh my gosh, this is a deep team. They have chemistry now with Ben, Tobias, Joel Embiid. I'm really excited to see how Al Horford comes into the mix. He's going to play some 5, play some 4. I'm really, really excited about this team. This has to be the year for them, right?
Yeah, it has to be the team for them this year. I mean, this is it. This is it. You had the process days. You were so close last year. Now you bring in Al Horford this year. You lose Jimmy Butler. This is it. If you're the Philadelphia 76ers, got to get it done. You signed Tobias Harris to a big-time deal, but the main question mark I have about this team is the backup center position, because that means Joel Embiid and Al Horford, one of those guys are going to have to be on the court at all times. And you saw in the playoffs against the Raptors when Greg Monroe came in, they were just the Raptors took advantage of that. Now they got Kyle O'Quinn there at the backup center. He's going to have some big-time minutes and games for them to kind of just be there for the 76ers. This is going to be a big-time year for Philadelphia. They're number 1, man. Go Sixers.
If the Sixers aren't the number 1 seed, or if they don't even get to an Eastern Conference playoff or Eastern Conference Finals, is Brett Brown gone?
I think he has to go. If they don't get to the Eastern Conference Finals this year, I think he's got to go. They got to be in the position to make the NBA Finals.
All right, guys, that's our show. We're up at the top of the hour. Thanks for listening. It's been great. For Logan Dolby and Matt McClure, this is Half Court.